All right, so we will start soon. How are you guys? This is our first live stream in. It's been a lot of months since we had our last live stream, which almost a year ago. A lot had happened since then. So we're going to start soon, okay? Hello there. Right. So um, let's start. Let me know if you can see me. I will have the chat next to me. If you want to ask any question, just let me know, and I will read uh, of your questions. And let's see. Hello, hi Megalord, hi Kunal, hi Rocky. So, like I said, we haven't had a live stream in quite a while. Many months ago, we used to do those. I believe they were great. I think we're going to start doing those again. Uh, the purpose of this live stream is to show you some tips and tricks about how to model inside Unreal. What you see here, it's the environment we created for the course, like modeling a castle. Um, Let me show you here. If we go to UNF games, like you can see like this course here. It's been a while since I started doing this. I created this course like in maybe October from last year. Um, and maybe finish it like in December or January. I quite don't remember, but a lot of things have changed since then. Okay. Um, this course is available both here in our website. I will put a link in the description. And also here, if you are a member here in the channel, you can join here and you can have access to all the tutorials, depends on what you want. So it's been a while since I've done it, and while it covers a lot of topics like modeling, uh, set dressing, materials, landscape, like master materials for the quick scans, sculpting, detail modeling techniques, a lot of set dressing tips and art fundamentals. It has a lot of information. However, the tool has been updated um, quite significantly. I will say that uh, you can still follow along, um, but there are some things that made the tool feel like easier to use. So we're gonna take a look at those. Okay. Um, this is the castle we made. So if you notice here, everything here is like a blueprint. Okay. So here, like you have some flags, some small animation, a little bit weird, but from distance, like has some movement. If you want to make this better, you will need to create a skeletal mesh and do this. Um, one of the things I want to show you here is that you can see how the castle has like this silhouette here. You can see how the bricks are breaking the structure, and you have something like this. Okay, um, that's quite nice to have actually. It really adds a lot of detail to the environment instead of just having like a flat surface, which is, usually you start modeling like that, but as you continue, you add more detail. Okay, I will show you how I did it here. Okay, and here also, see if I can find some parts with modeling here. The here. There you go. So, like for example, this one. Okay, here you can also have like the modeling here. It's appearing to have more depth here. Like if you take a look at this, you will see that it's not completely flat. You have like the bricks that are following the surface here. Okay, and this helps a lot to break the silhouette and add a lot of details. Here also, while it's not in the corner, you can also see that you can add some details here. Some parts here, it really doesn't matter if you see it. It can be tweaked. I will show you how later. And also, like this part, also is using like the textures used for mega scans to displace the geometry in some areas. Typically, you will need to displace all the mesh, but here I show you how I made it, and I will show you how I made it too, like how I will make it now actually, because some things have improved in the tool. Okay, and then like this is a very good example of yeah, it's breaking a little bit. Here is breaking, the tool is breaking here. You can see the silhouette. It's breaking here with the displacement here. Okay. Something like that, okay. And okay. So the idea when you model this kind of stuff, it will be very flat like this one. You don't want to have this, okay? Like this flat surface here, like this is very low poly. And when you use this, then it has a lot of detail. So we're gonna take a look at some techniques we can use. Take a look how to generate automatic cave in Voxel plugin. I haven't played with the Voxel plugin. Looks really fun. Not something I play with recently, so I have no idea. But a voxel is basically a tree that you can manipulate in real, and it's quite nice actually. Okay, so let's create some meshes here. Go create a new level or maybe. Okay, so let's go here to my modeling tools. Now, what has changed here is that my modeling tools is now included in my project. Before, it wasn't included. I'm gonna hide my webcam so you can see all the details. Some things have changed here. Like for example, the naming conventions has changed a little bit. Like the cube grid is new to mesh boolean, triangle select, whole fig. I believe the edge insert edge. Oh yeah, it's here in poly edit. Some people cannot find it. Okay, so let me create a box so we can have a bunch of options. So here in poly edit, I have like insert edge loops, or I can just insert edge loops here. Okay, You can accept, you can poly edit again. You can also bevel some surface, which we didn't have before. Like for example, you can want to bevel the top. You can just bevel here. You can just play with the slider here. You find a bevel you want. Before we use the weighted normals technique to get this kind of feeling, but it's quite nice to have the bevel here. So this one is pretty useful. The bevel here. Other than that, nothing much has changed here except for some minor bugs we had. Like if you the video before, there were some bugs when doing the lattice. We couldn't select some vertices here. This has been changed. Okay. Okay. So another thing, baking textures have improved a little bit. Before it had some small issues. Sometimes it worked for me, sometimes it didn't. Now I feel like it's quite stable. And also the UV tools, some improvements, I feel. Okay. The rest is kind of like the same. This is quite new. Okay. Also the split meshes, the convert meshes, we want to convert because now you have like a dynamic mesh actor you can use. So let's create like a castle, a small wall we can use. So we're going to open a box here, and here I will put it. I want pot would be target scene. I will put a ground plane. Okay, there you go. I will just click here. Try to move. If you move and you hold shift, you can just here. And if you want to put it down, you can press the end button. You press F, you can move where it was. Okay, so let's say you want to create a wall. Okay, it's very easy. So we're just going to select modeling, and here we might poly edit. I will just select this. I will just move it around. Now you see that UVs are stretching, but it's okay. We're not gonna need them. Okay, let's try to create a wall here. Something like this. Okay. Now this is very similar to the ruins tutorial we've made before the channel. Check it out. How you can create ruins in a real engine. So let's fix the UVs first. So first, let me go to Quixel. Go to content, add Quixel content. I believe I will need to log in. Oh, I'm already here. Okay, so let's look for some bricks here. I didn't download the 8K. I believe it's much. Brick fort, maybe. Check on surface. Okay, how about this one? Like, let's make a floor. Okay. Okay, let's put the medium quality and we can just download. Check the comments well. How to apply textures. I'll show you now. The filing. I love your tutorial video on Real 5 Basics. Thanks a lot for them. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for you for watching. Nice to know if they are very useful. Okay. Right. So we have our texture here, and what we need to do is to add it to the project, and you will have it here in Vector Scans, Surface, and I have quite a lot of textures here. Let me see which one. It's the name of this one is Fort Brick. Okay, Fort Brick. Here we go. So let's just add this here, and now we have our wall, floor. Okay. Now, this part of the wall looks kind of okay, but you need to make sure you put a mannequin here. Let's put a mannequin. Oh, put it here. Now this is a quite big floor. If you want to know how much texture resolution you need to put, you can just go to Fit, and you go to Optimization, then you go to Require Texture Resolution. Okay, so if you hold here, you can check which one you're using. Here you will have a bunch of options which how many textures this mesh is using. In our case, we're using like 3. Okay, so for us, if we take a look from distance, this one has like 2x over the density. Like this is more than enough. Okay, we are aiming to have something like white. And so this means if your camera is like this, you can reduce the texture a little bit to save some memory, and it will still look good. Okay, so as I continue to move closer, it becomes white, which it looks nice. If we take a look at our lit mode here, our texture will look quite nice. Okay, but as I continue to let me put my optimization view mode to require texture resolution. As I continue to move here, you will see that it becomes quite red, and this is not what you want. The reason is it's 2 eyes under the required resolution. So if you take a look at this, now this is very blurry. Now I understand we're using like 2K textures, but in most game projects, you won't be able to use 8K or 4K. That's just out of out of the table, right? Usually 2K is the standard. Of course, with the new generations, it will increase, but 2K should be nice. So we need to increase the resolution. Okay, and this means these bricks are a little big for that. So let's go to modeling. And for the UVs, we're going to go here in project. And by default, it's a plane, okay, covering the space. We want a box, okay. Now the box already covers everything, almost everything. You can put uniform dimensions, and look at what will happen here is that everything will be unified. Okay, if I put this, like, it will stretch. This thing is new, uniform dimensions, to kind of put everything, like if you put a checkerboard, just put it like 1, you will see that everything it's perfectly like very united. Okay, that's one thing. Two, if we put it here, see that we have this. Okay, now this doesn't really match with this one, so what we're gonna do is to put a box, and we're gonna put the default, and actually the default is quite nice, kind of working, especially here. This one is not having like the same distance, but it's okay. So dimensions like 10 by 10 by 10, actually 1000 by 1000. There you go. Now this is quite big, so you can increase the scale like 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, something like that. There you go. So this looks okay, like a little bit blurry maybe, but yeah, it's okay. for me it works quite nice. Very hard to see the pattern, and even if you go very close, it's very hard to see. Sorry. So let's click accept. We have some UVs here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is to do the displacement we did here. Okay, but you take a look here, we have like the displacement here, but it's not everywhere. I will show you what happens when we put it everywhere, because it really looks really bad. So what we're gonna do is go back to this guy. Actually, at this point, before adding any modeling, it's a good time to see if you really want to change the texture. For example, I want to put brick here, put a material instance. Okay, I don't know, let's put this one. Now, this will change a lot. As you can see, the size of the textures will change a lot. If I come back here, I can use brick and just put material instance here. Go to megascans. How come they're not named brick? Okay, let's use the name. If I put this one, this will change quite a lot. If I put this one, also take a while to load. There you go. Okay, so it depends on what you want to create. Okay, let's go with this. But before, I want to transform the UVs. Actually, go to layout, and I don't want to repack this, although be nice. Go to transform, and let's scale 0.5. Not this one, sorry. Here, the scale. Okay, that's much better. Okay, let's just put one. Let's just leave it at one. Like, yep. You know what? Let me change the texture again, because I just import this texture, and I feel like it will come with the right channel. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to do some displacement, but we're gonna do the displacement now, because if we do it, we don't have enough geometry. If you check this geometry here, you will see that we have a lot of geometry. Now let's check the nanite one. Nanite triangles. Actually, very funny. Okay. Anyway, so let's displace this mesh. Let's go to modeling, go to displace, and if I put something like I put my texture here, now we can choose the displacement map of this, which is here. Control B to check where my texture is. I can click here, and you will see that nothing happened. Even if I change the strength to 100, like I don't see any detail. Okay, I just have my mesh like this, not what I want. And the reason is we don't have much resolution. Okay, so we're going to cancel this, but this time we're going to do the remesh here. We're gonna leave it like that. 5,000, it's okay. Click accept. Then we're going to do the displacement again, and this time you can see what's going on. So put 10 here, and why this is displaced a little bit weird, have some holes here and everything, and the reason is we're using the red channel. We should be using the blue one. Okay, and the blue one is the one that has the displacement, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the blue one. So here you have like this, here you have the blue one. Pretty good. So let's put something like, I put it. Now you can see why this, if I displace too much, like it's gonna be very noisy, and you don't really want that. You want something like this, where some parts are displaced and some parts are not. So Before I use another trick like this, but now I have another one. So let's just come here to put something like 50. Okay, 30. There you go. Much better. Let's put 50. Okay, now everything will be noisy. You don't really want that, so let's click accept. Okay, and another thing I want to do is Control E to open this, and I will change flex collision to default. I don't want to have this flex collision too much. Okay, so now that we have this wall, what I want to do is to go to my modeling tools and go to my sculpting tool. Where is it? There you go, vertex sculpt. You will see that the tool has changed quite a bit compared to the version the tutorial was recorded. So if I go here, I can choose the. I believe I can choose the flatten. Let me play with this a little bit. Yeah, so I can just choose the flatten, and this will flatten my surface. Okay. Okay, and I can just play with this. I can also use the normal here, the plain normal. Yes, plain normal is what I want. Also here, which sides? Here it's fine. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you want to use the plane or the flatten to do this? I believe the flatten can give like nice results. So and then we can go to the plane normal and just do something like this. Okay. You can increase the fall off too and the strength, reduce a little bit. Nice. And here, let me put this material most system material. Now you will see here that this one is very flat. And if I go here to my lining mode, I can just paint here some areas that I want. Just by using the plane mode here, I can just flatten this out. I can go here to flatten, and I can choose one surface here. And then I can go here to my plane, and I can just start painting here, like this, okay? And here, like if your flatten is too strong, you can just create a fall off and reduce the strength. So here you can something like this, more subtle, and then you can go to normal. And you don't want this. You don't want to have different heights for this. So this one, that, and notice how this detail animal will give you the information that you're looking for. The more noise your mesh has, the more information it will have. So you don't want to put flattening here. There you go. Flatten here. Want to use a flatten here too. You only want the noise in some areas. Like something like this, for example. Like, and when you go here to your lead mode, now you will have some parts of your mesh like this, and some parts not like that. It's very flat. And you can take a look at this one here. Move it like this. Okay, something like that. This will give you a really nice result, especially here. Like, do the flattening here. Go flat this area. There you go. Much better. And now you only have the corners here that are being pushed away. Have like a nice silhouette. Okay, but here is very flat. You can do the same here. And let me accept this. Okay, so we can change, and we put a light here, you will notice what's going on. Okay, so let's go to the sculpt mode again. Let's just flatten this out. You see how I'm reducing the shadows, and just by doing that, I'm making my piece look much more uh, pleasant to the eye. If everything is too noisy, it's like you don't really want to see it. You only want to see art. So by painting like this will give you some really nice results. Okay, you don't really want to, like everything with noise. Okay, look at some. Hi, brother. Hi. I cannot read your name. Sorry. How to make an animated wall? That really depends on what kind of animated wall you want to make. Like you want to open a door, or want to move the wall. Okay. Cool photos on the background. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah. Uh, Pretty nice. Okay, when we see the same tool about 7 times over. So it's not just about the tool, it's about the art fundamentals. Like it really comes down to how much noise you put in your, in how much noise you put in your piece, and how much um, places to relax the eye you have. Okay, so take a look at some examples and some paintings that like, like Mullins. This one is great. Like so like here you can see like not everything has some noise. Like some areas here like are very very flat. It's like very has some forms here. That's okay. Uh, but most of the noise you can see from here in this angle, and also here there is a lot of noise. And yeah, you can identify the noise. Where is it? Where your eye stops, and it's like you are driving in a highway and you suddenly find like a lot of holes, so you will go slower. Same here, like if you put too much noise, the eye will stop there and go slowly to kind of think about what kind of information it's seeing. And then when you go here, the flattened area, your eye can rest. So you have parts where you can rest, parts to see the detail, parts where you can rest, some detail here, some a little bit of noise here in this area, and here you have like very loose, and overall the environment is very it doesn't have much detail. You cannot see every stroke, you cannot see like every little grass here. Now this is very important because with megascans and a lot of tools that now you have in Unreal Engine 5, it's very easy to think that you can just add detail everywhere. For the most part, is true. Like you can, and it can look nice, but you still need some parts that have, more detail than others. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, so this is one technique that I want to show you, and just by doing that, you're having like a really nice score here. Now, if you want to modify the normals, you can just go to modeling, and then you can go here to my normals, and I can just go here to my normal threshold. I can increase the normals, or I can decrease it. Depends on what you're looking for. If you want like more shadows, decrease the normal. to have like a little bit noisy. It's really up to you. Like a lot of sharp vertex. That uh, that's pretty much it. Okay. Um, there is another project I want to show you. So this one is just about the castle. So the castle has, like I said, a lot of chapters. I wanted to update you guys with what's new, especially the detailed part. Okay. Uh, Another part is the patterns. So let's take a look at patterns here. So patterns will give you different impressions of what you could have. Okay, so different patterns mean that you will have a different design language. For example, here you can have like stripes like this, okay, or you can have brick walls like this, or you can have like another type of stone wall like this. And just like this, you can have infinite amount of variations for your patterns. So the key to make everything look nice is to add patterns to it. Here I am using 3 patterns. Like here I have one pattern here for this one, and this one is also one. 2 is here, and 3 is the noise I have. Okay. Now the combination of those 3, it's what is making my wall look more interesting. So how I decide where I want to put them, it's about the ratio. So you don't want to be even. You want to have like most of the parts, like for example, this one is the most dominant one, and it will be here. And then is this one. This is a secondary one. I will want to put in the bottom and at the top. And the third one is using it as a guide to lead the eye up by using some noise. Now, if you take this pattern here, it looks really, really, really noisy. And the way I'm deciding how to paint those is by creating a line. So when you paint your meshes here, you can just go here and just like this. You can paint in this direction so that the eye can go in the direction you want. In my case, like I want it to look here because I want the castle to look like it's tall. But if you want it to look somewhere else, then you need to paint in the direction you want. So this is what we call visual guidelines. It's really, really, really useful. Same happens here. We're painting it here, going up. Also here, like going up. Here needs a little bit of tweaking for the painting. Okay. So that's one thing. Okay, let me save this project. And actually I'm going to the okay. Okay, so how to create building assets. That's basically what all this about. It's about, you know, you use the modeling tools to create the main forms, and then you add the detail on top of it. That's basically what uh, visual art it's about. You do the main forms and you polish it. That's all it is. Okay. How to create mirrors. You need a very reflective material. Okay. I will show you. Quite easy. Just got here. What are we learning? We're learning detailed modelings. Guys, this live stream won't be safe. This live stream will only available for the members of this channel. Because this is mostly about updating some new tools for creating this castle that is on this course here, you can either join here, or you can just go here to modeling castle. Okay, I will put a link in the description if you're interested. But if you already got it, this will be a nice catch up for showing some new things. Okay. Second question I get a lot about the tutorial, it's about the landscape. So I import something from Gaia, okay? But you don't really need to. You can just go directly with landmass. For example, something like this. Log out. Go. So you can just move this around. Oh, didn't do that. There you go. You can just go here, landmass. You can just move it here, and you will update all your landscape. Okay. Now Control C here. Okay. So some questions I get is like, why my landscape looks awful. So I can just go here and let me hide everything. Okay. That's like a lot of meshes here. Take a look at this part. Now, if your landscape looks like this, like it really doesn't matter. Some people get stuck on the landscape because they want it to look really nice, but in reality, the landscape is just a tool, so you can just go and play from here. Oh, sorry, I didn't put my person character. You can just play from here, and you have some collisions. You can paint it. You can put a lot of features. It's really cool, but it doesn't solve all the problems. So what you need to do is just to put some meshes here, and just by doing this, you will think that it's more detailed. That's one thing. Okay. You don't really need to detail the castle a lot. Okay. Let me open another project. Okay. Projects. Okay. Piano, Pizarro, good night. Good night, bro. Okay. It should open soon. There you go. So let's open level. I believe I have it around here. Environment levels. Okay. This may take a while to load. Anyway, we're here. All right. So this is sadly this is a tutorial. I cannot it's not in our YouTube channel. This was made for another company. If you're interested, you can just go to your games, and then here go to resources, or just scroll down here. Okay, you want to look for this one. So if you go to resources, there's a bunch of tutorials that we feel like they're very helpful. And if you want to support our work, you can get them, and we will get a small commission at no extra cost for it. But here, you got a war building one. This one is quite expensive actually. I didn't put the price. Sorry guys. I didn't put the price, but anyway, it's gonna take a while to load. Anyway, here what you're looking for, let me, what you're looking for is to use the modeling tools to bend some, to first merge, like merge the meshes, like you can have mesh like this, and then you can bend it, and then you can use it over and over to basically put them in other, like any, to create the form you want. Okay, so if you want to create something like more Chinese, more Japanese, something like that, this is a good way to go. Okay, it's quite good. Think here, like if you check here, we have like these meshes are combined, and all these meshes are just like, if you go to bridge, you can put blank, you can just look for like any kind of 3D asset, like something like this, and just by using one of those, you can create this entire building. Okay, and you just like duplicate it and try to create the patterns here. Okay, when you create something like this, try to look at the pattern. We start like something very horizontal. Okay, like this. Then we break it by going into a different direction. If this one is going to the right, this one is going down. And then we break it, and even more when we put diagonals like this. So it's not like entirely straight. This gives a good design. So overall, these little decisions will help you to model something. Okay, so if you take a look at this one here, you can see here that my mesh is here. Okay, I'm not using Nanite for this project. This project was made in Unreal Engine 4. Okay, so if you want to migrate a project, you need to enable Nanite here, and it will work. Everything will be super smooth. Okay, and this is basically the secret to create this kind of environments. It's just by using like sample of a couple of, like, just by using one, one mesh, duplicate it, I can just create anything. Not one, but maybe two or three. um Make video on beginner how to master Unreal Engine 5. I believe we already have that, quite a lot of them. If you come here, um you can go here to the playlist, and you will look for the playlist that is called Unreal Engine 5 tutorials, with the full playlist. Here you go. A lot of tutorials for beginners. Oh, this one, this is the only one that is a little bit more advanced, because for sculpting, not really too hard, but the rest you can start with blueprints here. Complete beginner for blueprints. Then if you want to create environments, we have like this one and this one. If you want to learn modeling tools, here, also here, landscapes here, first person shooter, materials, book physics, IK tutorial, animation tutorial. Chaos needs a little bit of an update. The tool update quite a bit. Optimization for games, PFX, small game. The last one I didn't add. I will add it soon. It's a complete game for beginners from zero. It's quite good, so make sure to check it out. Okay. Um, lens flare won't show up on camera. Projected picture look like a TV. Let me try to think about your question. What do you mean you look like a TV? No idea. Okay, so another tip I want to give you to create like this kind of uh, projects. Um, we we put the meshes here and we arrange them in a way that is you choose one direction, something like this, okay? And you can see all my planks are looking like this, right? They are all horizontal. Why this one looks a little bit more interesting? It's because I'm breaking horizontals by putting some diagonals like and here and here and here. Okay, and I still have like horizontals here, and when I have here, and then something like this, and then like this, and then I keep the horizontals. Okay, so when you duplicate the meshes, you want to take a look at the design you have here. This one, it's exactly the same principle I used to create this bridge. If I don't do this, if I only do something like this, where I just put the plants, it will look very boring. Okay, so let me see if I can blank here. Uh, Control P, you open the quick panel. So if I can just rotate here, let me put something like this, okay? Now this is our bridge. And what you can do is rotate a little bit and remove this. You can rotate a little bit too, like this. Okay. And you can do the same here, like this one, for example. You can rotate like this. Okay. And some of them you can rotate like this. And you can have your bridge and it will work. But it's very boring. So what you want to do, it's basically combine those meshes here using the modeling tools. You can just go here, modeling, and then go to mesh operations. Sorry, not mesh operations. I believe it's merge multiple meshes. So there you have like a one asset instead of a lot. But before doing that, you want to make sure that your design is right. You don't want to have something like this. So how we can make this more interesting? Let's play with the scale. Okay, all our planks are like this, and that's a little bit boring. Okay, so what we need to do is to basically first let's play with the scale a little bit. We can just come back here, change scale here to this one a little bit wider, one a little bit thinner. One can stay like this a little bit. Thing. Okay, and then this one we can leave it like this. Now you see, just by doing that, we are having a much more interesting result. Now, how you can make it even better is when you rotate this thing a bit like this. You can rotate this one like this, and here, for example, like you can rotate something like this, and now everything has more direction. Now, if you want to make everything much more interesting, we need to go into the other direction, because right now, you know, they are going like this, not this one. We're going into this direction, but they're a little bit like this. This one is going up a little bit, something like this, a little bit more interesting. So what we need to do is to add some verticals here, like we can play with this. Okay, so how do we do this? We can just rotate this. We can just scale it, and we can put it here. do something like this. And we can just put it here, just like that. Okay, and just by doing that, you're having a much more interesting result here. This. Okay. Now, if you want to make it even more interesting, you can add some negative space. Okay. Now, negative space is the space that, let's say, you don't see. Everything here is like a box like this. But I can actually have, instead of having a box, I can have something more interesting like this. Or I can have something more interesting like this, where I have some space between those shapes. So it basically separates different shapes. Okay. So how do we do this? We just delete some of those. And just delete, put them here. Okay. And then here we can just put it like this. And then rotate it. And this one, we can then put something like this and scale it. Put it like this. Or we can do the same here. There you go. Now we have something much more interesting. Let's scale of this one. We can put it here. Something like that. Great. Now this one looks much more interesting. I believe I shouldn't break this one. I want to be more natural, so I can just put it something like this, and I can just rotate this. Now this looks much better. If I delete this, even much better. I have more negative space. What happened here is, instead of having a box, now I'm having some spaces here that make my design a little bit more interesting. Okay. All right. So, Byron, great videos. I hope you can use some UI5 new in an Android product to better performance. We do have tutorials for performance. We really don't like to do mobile games, so I think it's coming really. But if you want to increase the performance for mobile, a tip I can give you: you go here to edit project settings, here in rendering. I believe it's around here. We're rendering forward shading. There you go. So if you put forward shading, this will make your resin look a little bit less quality, but it will increase the frames per second by a lot. Okay, you can definitely play with these settings to have like different settings for platform, and the engine will perform much faster compared to the default settings that are aimed for high-end PC. Okay, just leave it there. I wonder where guys from. I'm from Peru. I'm in Peru now. In America. Okay, sure. Where that is. Hi, Leo. Best LCD setting for mobile games. Not sure what that is. Really, I don't. Um, nobody knows. Please make a video on how to make a complete AAA title game. Okay, guys, we can really do a video of how to make a complete AAA game, but nobody will see it. That's the truth. We tried before, and when it's too complex, not many people see it. That's a reality. So we leave the complex stuff for people who want to learn more. In a member, we will add more projects for games. We won't let you like without anything. A lot of free content. It's awesome. I think we have a lot of awesome free content, and we will keep doing it. Every week we have new videos, so don't worry about it. More games is coming. Ram will make a strategy game. It will be really nice, I think. And more projects coming related to complete games. Okay, um, more of that coming. Okay, so now that you have this, you can just select all of those, just like this. You can select all your meshes. Okay, and here, instead of just dealing one by one, you can just go to modeling, go into merge. Okay, you can put a new object here. Let's just click accept, and this will be a new object. There you go. So now we have our wood plank here. And if you want to increase the performance for this one, we can just go here. Triangles a little bit high. No problem. We just add nanite. Now my PC is a little bit slow, so because the shaders are compiling. Sorry about that. I thought they were very loaded before I opened them. Okay. Now that you have this, you can just play with this. You can play with different patterns. You can put something like this if you want. Or you can rotate something like this. And you can have something really unique. You can even rotate this 180 degrees if you want. And you just need to follow the main forms. Okay, so how this tower was created was by using different forms. Okay, so if you see this, you will see that the main forms are this one. Okay, very simple shapes. Very simple shapes. Okay. Okay. This main form. Everything is main forms, and you just put it there until you create something really nice. Now, how this one was created is by bending those. So I can just come back here to my wood plank. Okay. I can just duplicate this. Go to modeling. Go to mesh stop. Now this will be another mesh. And now I can just deform this mesh. Okay. So I can just go to, is it not attributes, deform? There you go. I can go either lattice, there you go. I can change this by maybe 3 by 3, and I can just select the points I want to move and just move them like this. Now if it looks a little bit weird, make sure the interpolation mode is cubic, and now when you move it, it will be like bended, like something like this. Now this will add much more life. When you combine curves with straight lines, this will make your art look much better. So you can either do this by doing this, okay, or you can either wrap surface and just create like different results. You can do something like this to create your modular pieces if you want, something like this. Okay, you can also bend them in another direction. For example, I can just bend them like here, up, like this. By using control, you can snap, and you can increase the bend degrees you want. And just like this, you can have like a different mesh by using the same design you already worked so hard to get this design going on. Now you can bend it to create different meshes, and the same you can do to create different types of form that's unique. Okay, and this is how this stuff was created actually, by using those simple techniques. Okay, let me see the comments. That cannot be done in a single video. Yeah, uh, making a game and teaching how to make it is a complete different thing. Uh, most of the stuff we teach, we think like it's not too good when we do it, but actually the important thing is to teach the, make sure you learn the important things, not so much about getting something great real. Although that's the goal. But making a game and making it a tutorial is almost an impossible. Uh, Yo, yeah, I'm from Peru. I did answer right. If you know C++, why are you? Come on, guys. Please make a video on like single player game. Uh, we do have a video like our channel. I think it's the last video we made, right? Making VR games. Not really our thing. We tried before. I think that tech is great. It's not so fun to work with. Thomas says I'm making a medieval roasting, but needs the game mechanics. What would you recommend? I will recommend to start with a game framework if you haven't started yet. Um, this will give you a good understanding of how you can organize your games, and then just start creating little features little by little. And just be patient with it. VR bar is so low. Most VR titles are so bad. Anyone will take. Yeah, arguably, yeah. Uh, that's the thing. There's not many people doing it. So you have a lot of room to wait. Right. AAA game. Have any AAA game? AAA means a lot of things. One is budget. I talk from experience because I work in Ubisoft before. AAA games require a lot of logistics and a lot of budget, like millions of dollars. And you see those AAA games that they look great, but behind the scenes, it's like hundreds of people polishing one single thing. For example, I used to create environments, and I can only do that. I cannot change materials, I cannot animate, I cannot program anything. And if I want to change a material, I will need to ask the technical artist to change the material for me. So it's really one guy just like laser beam focused on one single task. That's why they look so good, and that's why they're super polished. Um, I believe with the tools you have in Unreal Engine 5, you still can make something great with few people. I really believe that. But you will still need to put the time on it. So it's mostly about the time, not so much about the technology, because everyone has the technology now, much more now than ever. So it's mostly about polishing. Right. So, are there any good tutorials on optimizations for mobile devices? Optimization is a big topic. If you want to learn how to optimize games, I will make a poll. Say that. As if you really want to learn how to optimize games, and I can do a tutorial on that. It's a big topic, but if enough the people are interested, make the okay. Yeah, so a lot of things in YouTube you find are very organized. Uh, we try to make the subjects specifics as we can to make it like one tutorial that help you on one subject. If you're learning from YouTube, like you will have a lot of resources. It will be a bit messy. Maybe we can try, we can try to organize it like learning paths or something, or even a small AAA team, one person for them. Um, yeah, I mean, there are still good examples of small teams that have accomplished a lot, and even sometimes better than AAA, maybe some aspects. Um, you really need the experience because otherwise your time will go to learn how to do the thing instead of how to polish the. And polishing takes a lot of time. If you already know how to do it, it's just a matter of time. You do it, and things take time. Like I just show you how to make this, and it took us some minutes, and then your work will need to make this, duplicate the things, create different kits, different, you know, um, follow the forms and everything, so that everything okay. That will take time, and that cannot be skipped. Uh, as the tools get better, you will save some time, but there's always some investment, something great. Okay, is it used for modeling like as any type of blueprint quick? I'm mostly the art guy in the team. I don't have much knowledge about blueprints. I know how to do some basic stuff, some basic games. But if it's something too complex, maybe we can try to do another live stream with Ram, our programmer. He's the one that do all the programming tutorials like blueprints and games and all the technical stuff. And uh, we can have a live stream like that. If you have any question, of course, make sure to go to the Discord and ask the question there. Sometimes we're there, we can answer. And if we're not, maybe some people have. Phones will keep the resolution at 1020. Yep. Yeah, I mean, mobile phones are highly optimized. Nintendo Switch itself. I work for one game for Nintendo, and it's a lot of optimization. Plague Tale was just 40 people. That was impressive. Yeah, some games you have fewer people. Actually, fewer people means that the project can go really well too because there is not so much barriers. Like when you work in a game when there are 1,000 people working on it, um, takes a while. It everything has a process. Otherwise, everything will get really messy. So, um, how many games so far your team made so far? Me, I find it are new ideas, but very hard to complete. All the games I've made till now are very simple. Well, don't be so hard on yourself. Making games are really it's not something easy to do, even with Unreal 5 available. Um, no, it's making games is something really hard to do, and arguably most people I've talked in the industry, uh, they say they say that it's harder than making movies, harder than VFX. Uh, Making games is one of the most hard tasks you can make. Although it's fun, of course, but it's very hard to do. It involves a lot of things to learn. So don't be so hard on yourself. making a whole game takes time. How many games so far have you made so far? So with this thing, we haven't made like a big game. We just make small games. But when I work in Ubisoft, I work in the Skull and Bones. This one, as you can see, you are not the only one with this problem. The game is not released yet, so games can take a while to make. So I also work in Mortal Phoenix Rising, make the Switch version for the China DLC. And those projects take a while to do. It definitely takes some time. So just be patient and enjoy the journey of creating games. All right, guys, it's almost 11. This video won't be available after. Only for our members. The reason is we want to put all the detailed stuff here available for the people who want to learn more. If you really want to make this public, this video needs to have a lot of views. So like if next week we don't have at least 30,000 views of this video, I will put it only for the members. Okay, so that's our deal. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for coming here. We will have more live streams in the future with more topics. So, thank you so much for being here. It was a nice chat. Looking forward to do another live stream in the future. I will see you next time.